Hey everybody, welcome to another exciting episode of Javier in the Air. That's right, in the air, not on the air. So, this is now season 4, episode 31. This is post the wedding video, which turned out great, which I had a lot of great feedback on, so thank you all for that. For those of you who are coming on for the first time to the regular show, welcome to the regular show. I hope I gain enough of your interest that you will continue to watch my show. So, I did a little sun right as the intro because, of course, we have been battling the sun now. It's not really a battle when you really don't have a dog in the fight, like, there's no chance for us to do anything differently. It has been 30 days plus as far as the sun goes without rain here in the Cedar Park, Austin area. There's little we can do for that. We are now in stage 3. So those of you who may not know, the Cedar Park area, Williamson County, is in stage 3 drought restrictions, which means no watering at all on Monday and Friday. And then check your house number to see what day you can actually manually water. And it will be anytime before 10 a.m. and I think after midnight that you're able to water. So for myself, I am only able to water on Sunday, so I will probably get out there about 8 o'clock tonight, because you are able to water at night as well after sundown, I believe is how the restriction goes, but I'll double check. So that is it. Excuse my hair, it's growing back after that fantastic haircut I got for my nephew's wedding. So like I said before, thanks for the great feedback from everyone from the wedding. I hope you enjoyed the videos that I had for that. I did have some great feedback. And speaking of great feedback, I also have been receiving great feedback on Nextdoor for my Trash in the Hood, the individual pictures that I've been posting out there for everyone to see. This week was a good week. I actually got out there 4 times, and one of them was a really stupid time because this was the week I was at home, so I was walking around lunchtime. I try to go early, but I missed it every day, so I walked around lunchtime, and Thursday turns out to be one of the hottest days on record ever for this area. And yes, I was out there walking in that heat. So I do, for those of you who have asked before, I do carry what is called a Camelback, and that does have about 3 gallons of water in it. I am used to walking with that weight now on my back. Originally when I started, I would have lower back pains, but I've toughened up since then. It has been 56 weeks. So and I made 30 cents for my efforts this week, so that's nice. So let's go to Trash in the Hood, and you can see the 4 days that I walked and what I picked up. Dark Frog Social Media presents Trash in the Hood, week 56. Okay, so here is day 1 of week 56, and as you can see that there is quite a bit of junk out there, food containers and plastic and water bottles and cardboard and all sorts of nonsense. But the big thing that I found is after I picked it up, but I wasn't able to show it in the first shot. There I found a hollow point bullet, unused, unspent, while I was walking the neighborhood. I thought it was very interesting, so I wanted to show that. This was day 3. Day 3, you see, I found a huge vape pen. I didn't know they made them that big, and there's a regular size vape pen beside it. Ton of cigarettes. In fact, I think this was 33 or 43 here, plus a lot of trash. A lot of the trash. I picked up 2 food beverage drink containers, so I was able to cram everything in there, and then the usual plastic and even a Q-tip that day. Now this was day 4. I found again about the same amount of cigarettes, including little cigarillos that they had cut off, broken lemonade bottle, 2 mini liquor bottles, and also a vodka bottle. So somebody was out heavily drinking. Also found a lot of water bottle tops, like not the water bottles themselves, but just the tops. And then the standard plastic, metal, and tissues and junk mail and stuff like that. And then day 6 was actual my Java walking, where I go get coffee. And so you see there's just a mishmash of everything, including a hubcap cover and water bottles. And there was, I believe it was 52 or 53 cigarette butts, one of the tied for the record of this year's number of cigarette butts. And of course the usual Fireball whiskey. Somebody is really into Fireball whiskey because I pick up at least 3 a week. So really crazy out there this week. Okay, so there you have it, the Trash in the Hood, week 56. And I want to thank everybody who's been stopping me lately and thanking me for doing this. I appreciate the thanks, and I appreciate some of the people said they actually go now around when they walk the neighborhood and pick up some trash as well. I really appreciate that. If it motivates you and I inspire you, then more power to it. If it doesn't, I don't care. I want to make the neighborhood good for me and the people that do enjoy having a clean neighborhood. So, and once again, I got some feedback about it, and no, this is not coming from the trash cans. When the gentlemen and ladies that pick up trash for us on a regular basis in their trash trucks, this is not coming from those containers. I want to make that clear. This is not coming from those containers. So those guys, those crews do a fantastic job of picking up trash. I mean, a lot of it's automated where they're just picking it up and it's going into the trash can, via a claw and a crane kind of combination. And then there's the crew that picks up the recycling. Then there's the crew that picks up the bulk pickup. So none of this is coming from that. I'm not finding trash around where a neighbor would normally put the trash cans. I'm finding this in the middle of the street, in the right beside the drainage ditches, right beside the drains, the water drains that you'll find on our streets. I think I mentioned a lot of next door that I find a lot of this, a lot of the cigarette butts lately on my walk around Hatch Pond, where the baseball field, softball field is, and trees and stuff like that. That is really a drainage, like a flood drainage area, but it's been so long since it's flooded. They actually put in backstops and stuff like that for baseball. Anyway, I've been finding most of the cigarette butts, or at least half of the cigarette butts on my walk, are found there. So this is not, oh, the trash guys, the trash team spilled stuff as they were getting the trash out. It's not that at all. So just want to make that clear and make sure that everybody gets it. This is not coming from there. So enough about trash. Let's talk about our healthy after 50 moment. I do have one for us, and I appreciate everybody who's been talking about it. I will have more movement healthy after 50 episodes, I should say, mini episodes inside of the show, as soon as it gets a little bit cooler out there. So here's one to talk about being healthy after 50, and in regards to keeping your house healthy. Dark Frog Social Media presents Healthy After 50. Okay, so welcome to Healthy After 50. We had that hiatus, but now we're back. So for those of you who are monitoring yourselves, let's get a little hydration in. So one of the things I haven't talked about that's kind of more esoteric than actual physical, mental for people like us that are over 50. Let's talk a little bit about what else do we need to keep healthy in order to keep ourselves healthy. So there's multiple things. There's cars, there's family, there's yards, there's walkways and stuff like that. But let's start with, for at least for this week, and we'll get to the other ones sooner rather than later. Let's talk about our house. So for those of you who may have issues with your back, with your knees, with your hips, who may live in a 2-story house, This is where all the squats and lunges that I've been talking about. Now, there's two um, schools of thought. The first one is if you really can't do anything, then you should start by doing squats just in and out of your chair. I was reminded of this by Brother Rob, who was giving information to our siblings about how they can increase some of their mobility. So, if you can't squat, you can sit in a chair, and guess what? Sitting in the chair is a squat. Now, you don't have to go fully into a chair. Just get a chair like you have at your dining room table or kitchen table, and sit down in it, and stand up and sit down in it, and do that 10 times, and then try to do that a couple of times a day. If you notice, if you really haven't been doing anything, you'll notice that you might start get a tightening in your thighs and in your butt muscles, or your butt muscle, I should say. It's one muscle. So that shows that you need to do these rather than try to go to the next level, which is actually just doing the squats without any support underneath you. So that's one school of thought. The other school of thought, which is the one I had been talking about, is just trying to do squats yourself. But if you're really in a spot where you can't do a squat reasonably, then at least try to do it out of the chair. And the reason why we talk about that is because if you can't even get out of your chair when you get older, you're going to be in a world of hurt, and you're going to need support, or a nurse, or you're going to be hospitalized permanently. And that's the last thing that we want to happen to us or to anybody that we know. So now, outside of that, we want to talk about the house. I'm sorry, I totally went on a tangent there, but it's all important, so it's all good. But now we want to talk about our house. So you want to make sure that you're able to move around your house. Like I said, if you have a two-story house, you might want to start trying to get into some additional exercise to try to help out with your joints and help out with your hip flexors and all that, by doing pull work or doing squats and stuff like that, so you can get up and down your stairs. You don't want it to be that you're never going upstairs anymore because you can't make it upstairs, or you can't make it downstairs, that you're very timid, you're very anxious, you get you're worried that your feet are going to slip or something like that. So your house is your house. If you have an apartment or you have a condo, that may be a little bit different, but if you actually own the house that you live in, or you're at least making payments on it, then start looking at what you can do to make your house comfortable for you. I'm not talking about modifications so that you are going to not exercise. I'm talking about things that you need to do to make sure. You need to make sure that most of the stairs or all of your stairs don't have slip surfaces if you happen to be going downstairs at night wearing your bunny slippers that don't have any traction underneath, or just some wool socks because it's a cold day. On top of that, you want to make sure that it's almost like, and I hate to say it, but I need to say it, someone's got to say it, it's almost like you're baby proofing your house. So what does that mean? You need to look around and see. You need to see, am I able to get to things under the sink? Am I able to get to things in the dishwasher? Am I able to bend over and get into my stove? Am I able to open the doors that are locked? Am I able to open heavy doors? So you need to check on these and see what your level is. If you get to a point where you can't open some of these doors, then I'm sorry, but you're going to have to do some more exercises and strength training. Even if you're sitting at a chair watching TV, you can do some strength training to make sure that you do not get basically locked into your house so that you can't get out. What happens if the door is too heavy for you to move, and you get trapped behind the door? Not good. What happens if you live alone like I do and you happen to slip and go down the stairs and get knocked unconscious? Not good. So you need to check everything for that. Then on top of that, and finally, I'll leave you with this, you need to also make sure that everything is ship-shape, and everything is leak-proof, and everything is airtight when it comes to the exterior of your house. If you are still working like I am and you haven't retired yet, It's the best time to try to get some of these things done so that when you do retire, you're pretty sure that and secure that you're not going to have any issues. I'm talking about checking your roof for damage, and if it is damaged, you have insurance. Try to get insurance to cover it. I was able to do that with hail damage. I was able to get a brand new roof. You need to check the attic for any air spaces so that it basically it's stealing your AC or your heat during the winter. You need to check your windows, make sure there's no cracks, make sure that they seal properly, and if you can, while you're still working, try to get double pane windows. I know you get those guys knocking on your door like I do, trying to sell you double pane, and you're like, whatever, but there is some truth behind that. So I'm not saying to go with those guys. In fact, don't go with any guys that just randomly knock on your door trying to sell you windows. Go with a reputable source. But check that as well. Check your doors. Are they hanging correctly, or is there gaps? That sort of thing. So the more you can keep your house healthy, the more you're going to keep yourself healthy, and the more you keep yourself healthy, the more I'll be seeing you after 50. Thanks a lot, everyone. Great little healthy after 50. Thanks for that. Thanks for somebody also asking about housing and stuff like that. So we weren't talking specifically about housing. We were talking about the house. So I will try to get together something a little bit more extended when it comes to housing for people after 50. Which is a totally different topic. Okay, so while I have you all here, once again, welcome. Thank you for watching the show. I like to also thank a lot of people. I'm beginning to get a little bit more feedback on both Nextdoor and on here on my show on YouTube, Javier In The Air, about just things in general. They're liking the show. They're doing this. Who did I use for the roofing? Who did I use for some of the work that I actually did in the back? How do I go about starting walking and picking up trash? Or why did I start it? Also, some recommendations for what to do out there. Am I being safe? Which I am. Don't worry, ma. And so on and so forth. So I really appreciate the feedback. I will continue doing the show for as long as I can. I'm already in season 4, so let's see how long I can go. All right, so now we're going to get into our Zen moment, and then I have another special having to do with our spirit time. So we'll wrap it up with a little bit extra long spirit time. So let's go into our Zen moment. When winter comes, take it for what it is. Sometimes grief, sometimes love, but always take it for what it is. The world may be sleeping, but you are not. Take advantage of this time and show everyone what you got. The crisp air, the cold feel. Don't bow to this, my friends. Don't ever kneel. Okay, so I wanted to go a little bit different since we were so hot. So we went with cold for our Zen moment. So I hope you got a little joy out of that. And the music, as people have asked before, this particular song is called Epilogue, and it was part of the royalty-free music. Let me take my glasses off. Music that I use from my video editing software, which is Wondershare Filmora. So if you use a video editing software, and you have a license like I do for your software, you may get some royalty-free music. So I like to try to list or name the song as much as possible. Sometimes the songs don't have any groups or artists or anybody that wrote it and played it, so I don't know, but I try my best. And I'm beginning to see more and more, which is not, I'm not touting this, and I'm not a proponent for it, for or against it, but I am beginning to see that they are now providing a lot more AI generated music, which is interesting, and I've used some of it before in the past, so um, don't really have pro or cons for it. I don't hate it. I don't love it. It's useful for me right now, and it's not bad. It's just not written by somebody, or it's written by coders who tell it, who have algorithms, who it then learns from, but it learns by using its coding. So it's not always going to be a hit. It's not always going to be a miss, and unfortunately, it's not everybody gets royalties since it's an AI building it. But I digress. So there is your Zen moment. Now we're going to go into the last section of the show, which is spirit time, which I know is really a lot of people would like to watch because it has to do with alcohol, and a lot of people don't like to watch because it has to do with alcohol. But so I get feedback one way or the other. This is a section that I will almost always keep, just like I do for Trash in the Hood. There have been some episodes where I didn't have a Trash in the Hood, and there have been some episodes where I didn't have Spirit Time due to length of the show or due to other circumstances beyond my control. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to go into. I had a special one from last time, but there's another special one this time for Spirit Time that has to do with Guinness. So, it has to do with my friends Julia and James Takashita. They recently got back from Scotland, Ireland, and so they brought a special, or they knew of a special, almost like a cocktail. It's got two ingredients, so it could be a shooter, but it's using beer, so maybe it's a beer cocktail type of thing. I'll let the bartenders figure that one out. So here is basically purple Guinness. Okay, so here we are with help from Julia. Now, what they said and what I just found, and Julia couldn't remember because they didn't do it in front of her, so we're not sure which order. Some recipes say Guinness first and then top with cordial, blackcurrant cordial, or the reverse. The other ones say the reverse. So we're going to go with pouring the Guinness in there and then doing the cordial on top. So, wow. I guess that's going to be my beer. Now, in the old days, when I drank bad beers, and you got a lot of foam like that, what you used to do, which I know is gross, you used to get the oil from your skin and put your finger in there because it would get rid of the foam. Yeah, it's true story, true story. But this is actually decent beer, so I'm not going to do that. Okay, so now that we have it, this is actually settling pretty quick, so it's not bad. We're going to take our blackcurrant cordial. Kind of just smells like grape juice to me, but we'll see. I know it is different. I have had it before. Oh, maybe why it smells like weird is because it doesn't. I'm not smelling the true thing. I'm smelling the plastic on there. That's a little better, but it still smells like grape juice. So they said add it to sweeten the slightly bitter Guinness. And so we're going to go, because we're only doing a half a glass each, I'm I'm trying to see if I can float it, but it doesn't look like it floats. Looks like it actually blends in. So now, the other thing is whether we mix it or not. Some recipes say you mix it, some of them say you just top it. So I think we're going to try both. So let's give it a shot. Okay, so Julia mixed hers, or you can mix it again, that one. Yeah. We had a technical faux pas, so Julia's mixing hers. I am not. I'm going to just have mine floated. So she's going to try it now.
Well.
And now give us your review.
I give it an 8 or 9 out of 10 because I am not a beer drinker whatsoever. I don't like the bitter aftertaste. And with the black currant, makes all the difference in this beer. It sweetens it up and kind of smooths it out.
Okay, very good. Okay, so for mine, now mine is just topped. Like you can still see some of the black currant on top, the little red lines there. So we're going to try it now and see what we get. Well, it definitely removed the bitterness of the Guinness, but I don't know if I like it. Let me go in again. Yeah, this to me is like, yeah, I can taste the black currant and I can taste the Guinness, and I don't think I really like the two combined, which is interesting because I like the taste of the black currant and I like the taste of the Guinness, but combined I just don't like it. So for me, I'm going to give this 5 thumbs up. And yeah, sorry Guinness, if this is one of your cocktails, I'm not going for it, but Julia likes it. So there you have it, black currant cordial and Guinness. Thanks a lot, everyone. And there you have it, everyone. Episode 31 is in the books. I want to thank everybody for watching the show. If you have any thoughts, comments, suggestions, or concerns, please send them to me either on Facebook or here on YouTube on my channel, Javier In The Air, with my handle being Javier In The Air 01. That's Javier In The Air 01. Or you can reach me on I believe Instagram, and I don't use Twitter, aka X, anymore. But you can reach me via text message or email. However you know how to get a hold of me, get a hold of me. And I will certainly welcome your feedback, and I will take a look at it. I'm still looking to see if I can find a co-host at some point for a couple episodes. I think that would be great to have a nice to and fro on there. Also, I'd like to thank everyone for watching the show again. I hope you subscribe to my channel. I will continue to keep trying to build the show and build the channel itself. Also, I have some great things coming up over the next couple of months. It's that time again. For those of you who hate it, those of you who love it, it's here already. There is pumpkin spice in the wind, which usually means it's time for pumpkin beer tasting, and see if I can get a crew together for that. I know Brother Rob's always up for pumpkin beer tasting, so see if I can get a crew together. If not, it'll be just he and I again, and we'll start pounding down some pumpkin beer, everyone. So have a good rest of your August 20th. I hope you have a good week coming up, and I will see you again next week. Thanks a lot, everyone.